I just finished milking and we didn't get that much today. It's about half a quart, but if I do this twice a day, we should end up with enough to make yogurt real soon. We've been doing that pretty frequently as of recently, so looking forward to that. So now I'm heading back in to put this away, and that introduces this video's topic, which is going to be all about fennel. We're going to discuss some fun facts about fennel. We're going to share recipes we use to cook fennel, and we're going to make sauerkraut with fennel in it, so stay tuned.
Thank you so much for being here. The Vineyard chicks include me, DIY Trie, Bunkie, our little gardener, and Professor KK.
And if you enjoy this video, please give us a thumbs up and share it on social media. So if you've been following along, you know that there are red stains on our emus, Buckbeak and Griffin. We recently had to clip our turkey wings to keep them from flying out of their pen. So that's why there's feathers everywhere. And that's where Bunkie tried to be like Trie, and the emus ended up stained with red. More on this story in our next video. So we've had a huge harvest of fennel this year. And we've already used it for a lot. We put it in salad, we roasted it with butternut squash, and today I'm going to show you how we make sauerkraut with fennel using fermentation. So for this recipe you're going to need fennel, cabbage, salt, lemon, and peppermint. We also have a stainless steel bowl. You're going to want this to be non-reactive, so it can be stainless steel or glass. We have a pickle packer and a crock or a mason jar with an airlock lid. I'm going to be using the airlock lid this time. And then you're also going to need fermentation weights. And if you don't have these, you can just use the jelly jar. So the first thing you're going to do is take care of your cabbage. When you get it, you're going to want to take out the first 2 layers so you have good cabbage to work with. And you're going to want to save the 3rd layer so you can put it on top of your sauerkraut. And then with the rest of the cabbage, you're going to either shred it or slice it thinly. We like to slice it so that we can control how thin or thick the sauerkraut is going to be. So with the cabbage, you're going to want to slice it into quarters, and you're going to core it, and you can throw the core out, and then the rest you're going to use for the sauerkraut. And with those quarters, you're going to slice them thin. Same thing with the fennel. You're going to want to wash the fennel and then slice them. And if you can slice them the same thickness as your cabbage, that would be better. First, you need to quarter your cabbage. Then you need to remove the white core. Then chop them all into small pieces. So this is the fennel. I just washed it and now we're slicing it thinly. So we finished chopping the fennel and the cabbage, and this looks really pretty together. So the next thing we're going to want to do is clean up a bit, and then we can add the salt. And we're just going to sprinkle this in. And then we're going to massage this for 8 to 10 minutes. And what you're doing is you're taking the water out of the fennel and the cabbage, because the salt is going to make the water want to come out of the cabbage and into where the salt is. I forget what the term is. I think it's hypertonic. But the longer you do this, the more water it's going to let out, and that water is going to be your brine. So we shouldn't have to add any water to this when it starts fermenting. Just like so. Now if you have older cabbage, you might need to use a little water, but if it's fresh cabbage, especially from the garden, you shouldn't have to massage for as long, and you won't have to use extra water. Fennel is native to Mediterranean shores and is common in Italian and Mediterranean dishes. Fennel is a member of the carrot family, Apiaceae, but Italians call it Finocchio, which sounds like a Disney character. Okay, so we let this sit for a while, and now we're massaging it again, and look at that. It has a lot of water at the bottom, and it looks really purple. And next we need to put in the mint. So now we're going to put our cabbage and put it into the ball jar. And we're probably going to use the pickle packer to make sure it's all in. So we only need to fill this about a third of the way full, and then we put lemon on the side of the jar. Kind of stand up on the side of the jar. And put one on each side. Now we're just going to pack the cabbage in again because I moved it. And now we fill it again. Alright, so this is full now, and you can kind of see the brine. So we're going to push this down again. And then we're going to put the weights on top of it. And we want this to be completely submerged. And this was all water from inside the cabbage. I didn't add any water to this at all. And this is where the third layer of cabbage comes in that you saved from earlier. You're just going to put this in and put it on top of the sauerkraut. Like so. We're going to put down the weights. This little middle part here is going to go down. So it's going to be like that. And we're going to stack a couple of these together. See if this reaches the top. And this is going to keep the sauerkraut in the brine. So I think we're going to need another because I want this to be pretty tight. And now we're going to put the lid on. We're just going to try to close the ball jar. Now we're going to put water up to around here, like midway up. And that's going to let the air that's in the container out and not let any other air in. And we're going to let this sit in a cool, dark place for 4 days. And we'll taste it on the third day, but I think it'll be the fourth. So we're just going to let this sit.
Also using fennel, Trie and Bunkie made these delicious roasted Italian sausage with fennel, onion, and orange slices, and a walnut fennel salad. If you'd like to see them make a video about these, leave a comment below. And thanks for joining me today. We always appreciate any comments or questions down below. And stay tuned for our next episode to hear more about Bunkie and the red stain.